All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. This is the first time back in how many years since we've had this nice jazz festival meeting? So we're very excited. Thank you all. You're going to see Anita and Al around with the photography. They are our photographer extraordinaires over the festival weekend. That's true, you did do the 4th of July. And I'll introduce our Sergeant Garrett here in just a moment. So welcome everyone. We're going to start off with the public safety and emergency information because Sergeant Garrett is very busy and we don't want to keep him longer than we need to. But he's happy to answer any questions you might have. He's got a little bit of a presentation too, so I'm going to bring him up here. That way he can stick around for a couple of minutes if he needs to. Be sure to talk into the mic.
I don't know how much of a presentation I have for you. I got a last-minute call to fill in for Chief Ackerman that was supposed to be here. He had something come up, so I'm what you get. So from what Chief was telling me, he normally speaks about what to do in an active shooter incident, if, God forbid, there happened to be one, and what to do during disputes or intoxicated people. So for an active shooter incident, if that were to happen, we usually teach run, hide, fight. Don't know if any of y'all have heard about that before, but the first and best scenario for you to do if you did hear shooting or something like that occurred would be to run, have an escape route, leave any belongings behind, run in the opposite direction of any gunshots or anything, major events like that. You can help others if it's possible, but the main thing is to get yourself clear. Warn or prevent people that are going in the opposite direction of you to turn around if you can. If you're running away from an event like that, keep your hands visible because law enforcement will be coming into the area, and it helps us to know that you're not one involved, you're trying to flee, and then to follow any commands or recommendations given by law enforcement on where to go or something like that. And then when you're safe to do so, if you could call 911, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the area, multiple people trying to call 911, but the more information they can get to give to us, the better it is for us. All right, and if you're in an area where you can't run, you can't escape, escape areas are blocked, the next best scenario would be to hide. So find a room or an area that's out of sight of any of active shooters, anything like that, where you're not seen. You can hide somewhere that'll provide protection. If you can find a large item to hide behind, something that would stop gunfire if that were the incident that were occurring. And then, again, remain quiet, not to give your position away, and provide info to 911 if you can. If neither one of those options are available and you're backed into a corner, your absolute last resort would be to fight. If that's the case, you want to fight as aggressively as possible, work together with others, because get multiple people against one person, you have a much better chance, and then commit to your actions. And that's an absolute last resort, if you have nothing else you can do. All right, so that's in the worst case scenario, active shooter event or something like that. As far as intoxicated people or disputes go between people, could be anything as far as an argument between two people about, somebody took somebody's chair, whatever. Those can get kind of heated, so we prefer that you contact law enforcement either by having another volunteer make contact with us. There's going to be several of us walking around. Do y'all have radios to talk back and forth? So, yeah. So some of the volunteers will have radios, and come across the radio, let us know what you got going on, and we'll get a police officer to you as quick as possible. try to keep an eye on the people, where they're going, give us a little bit of a description so we know who we're looking for, especially in the big crowd. And pretty much just observe it and let us know what's going on and let us deal with that kind of thing. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
Sir, you're going to be on site, I mean, not you necessarily, but you're going to have on-site presence that whole day?
We will. Yes, we will have police officers on site. I've looked at the schedule, glanced at it. I know there's going to be at least 6 or 7 of us in this area, in addition to officers close by doing traffic control and stuff like that. And actually, I personally will be here that day as well. So. Any other questions?
Okay, at the very end of all the police and fire, if you find that you have questions for them, please just let me know and I will be happy to relay the question to them and they will get in touch with you with whatever the answer is for that. Again, always, when in doubt, call 911. We will have radios. I am going to touch on that shortly, so if you have a question about the radio, please hold that off until I get to that part. There is a Dare County non-emergency dispatch number. And I highly recommend you have this in your phone regardless of what the event is. Just have it at your house because you never know when you're going to need that emergency services. Even if it's not an emergency, it's a good number to have on hand. First aid location is going to be a little bit different this year. And in my fire slides, which are coming up because unfortunately both Chief Black and Deputy Chief Bachelet had other obligations tonight that they couldn't be here. But we are going to have first aid locations. The information tents will each have a first aid kit, as well as the merchandise table, which will be on the front of the town hall porch here. An AED is located in the restroom lobby. So if something were to happen and someone were to look at you and say, I need the AED, I just need you to know where it is. Then you can go get it and bring it to the person who's asking you for it so that they can use it. If you can use it and you were trained in it, all the better. But we just everybody to know where these emergency services are so that the more prepared we are, the less likely we're going to need to use it, right? We're going to use Murphy's Law on that one. If it's anything more than just a Band-Aid, if the person can put the Band-Aid on themselves, that's fine, hand the Band-Aid. But we do need you to mark that you did hand out a Band-Aid. That's fine, but if it's something more serious, like a more serious cut that needs gauze, needs more attention, if they can walk, if they are mobile, we're sending them across the street where fire and the EMTs are set up just to keep things in one place. But, yes, sir. Yes, so all the firefighters are EMT trained, but we will have EMS close by as well. We are working, Dare County has that, I believe, and I think that's on the fire slides that I just got about an hour ago. I'm going to throw Trey under the bus there. The fire extinguishers are all located all around the grounds. We have, I believe, 3 in here by each of the exits. There are 2 in the gazebo, 2 in the amphitheater. We have 5 inside the town hall. They're all basically right within doors, so always know where those are in case of just needing that in emergency as well. So thank you again, Duck Police, for being here. Duck Fire, again, any questions that we have from them, I'm happy to relay if I can't answer them. The radio information, we will have town radios just like we did at the 4th of July. They're the yellow radios that only have the channel for us to use. Some others will have 2 radios. We'll have the town talkie, as we've affectionately called them, as well as a radio for public safety so that they can get in touch with Christian, myself, the town manager, all of us. So if something happens where you are, the merchandise tables will all have, the merchandise table is going to have a radio, the informational tents will have radios, parking is going to have radios. There will be one close by to wherever you are working. And they can call, if it's not a big emergency, they can call us, but if it is a larger emergency, you can call command, which is the fire is going to be there. The way to call command, and I don't really know why he phrased it like this, so if personnel are using the radio, they should call the following format: hey you, it's me. Don't say that. Don't say, hey you, it's me. And I hope Trey is watching. You're gonna say, command, this is, and state your name. And then they'll come back with, all right, Betsy, what's what's going on. Hey, you, it's me, right? I can't wait to call that one out. In the event of the medical emergency and you're calling command to say we have a medical emergency here at the amphitheater stage or in the amphitheater in the seating, they need the location, they need the approximate age of the patient, as well as a brief description of the illness or the injury so that they can come prepared with what they don't want to say. So if it's a 5-year-old child or they think it's a 5-year-old child and it's actually a full-grown adult, they might not have everything, they have grabbed everything they need, and we're trying to streamline things this year. You've heard us all say it before, stay in your box, stay in your box. So this is the official org chart for the entire event, and I apologize. You can't really read it all that well, and I know you can't. But this is gonna show you, and we'll go through it when you check in, who your direct supervisor is. So and that's coming up later also. So if you're working on grounds, your direct supervisor is gonna be Jim Gould. If you are working merchandise, it's gonna be Lori Ackerman. If it's, you'll know who it is that you're going to and reporting to after you check in. All right, now for the fun stuff, the schedule. We have a big week coming up next week. I thought I was done with all the events, but no, we have a fun week ahead of us that's all jazz themed. On Thursday morning at 10:30, right in here in this meeting hall, we're gonna have a jazzy story time and rhythm play. That is with Christian's stepfather and mother, actually, who are very excited about it. They're gonna have some instruments, they're gonna have stories. It looks like it's gonna be a good time, and I can't wait to see it. Friday night at, I didn't add in here. I apologize, I missed one. Thursday evening, we're having a special Nature on the Boardwalk at 6 o'clock that evening. If you'd like to participate in that, you can certainly email me or call me, and I'm happy to register you for that walk. It starts here at the town hall. We go to the boardwalk, we check out wildlife and plants, and go about to the waterfront shops and back. So it's about a mile walk. It's usually a beautiful evening, and we'd make it around sunset to make it even better. Then on Friday evening, we have a movie on the green. We're playing Disney and Pixar's Soul. You don't get much jazzier than that. Lenny and I will be there. Saturday, we have our concert on the green from 4 to 6 with La Fiesta Latin Jazz Quintet, as well as the sponsor reception. That sponsor reception is going to be under a tent right behind the gazebo, and they're going to have special viewing to the show. Key points of that is their jazz merchandise, including the jazz shirts, are going to be sold on the green like they are during a concert on the green. Jazz merchandise is not on sale until the festival. It's just kind of the rule we've always made, and it not changing it this year. So if people ask you leading up to the week, they're like, oh, where can I get my t-shirt? You have to wait till the festival. That's just a hard and fast rule that we've made. The sponsors that are attending the sponsor reception may not be aware that that it is under a tent and not somewhere else on the green. So if you see a sponsor wandering around and they're like, I'm supposed to go to this party, just direct them back to the tent, and we have volunteers there that are going to check them in. Following the concert, if you'd like to continue the party, at the Blue Point down about half a mile up the road there, we are going to have a live jam. Musicians from the bands will be there, and they're going to come and just play music. They're going to play with each other. They've never played with each other before, but they're going to play with each other. It's a really good time. It's in the backyard of the Blue Point. I highly encourage you to come if you can. When is that? That is Saturday night. Saturday night after the community concert.
So is that with all bands that are in for the weekend, or just the Friday bands?
No, it's whatever bands would like to attend. If some are coming in late that evening, some are coming in early and would like to go, we don't have everybody's travel schedule yet, so they are all invited. It's open to all the musicians that are coming to play for the festival, yes. Mm-hmm. Sunday is an all-day event. It is all-day, free, non-ticketed festival from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. The music doesn't start until 11, and we don't allow any attendees to set any of their chairs or blankets up prior to 10 o'clock. So if you're working the gates, which means the two entrances, the boardwalk here and here, I feel like a flight attendant, here and here, and then these right over here. Those, as a volunteer, you're allowed to set yours up. That's a perk. We're not above bribery, just so you all know. So if you arrive early and you want to set your chairs and blankets up, by all means, go right ahead. Be sure you're wearing your shirt so that we know, so that other people know. I will know you, but not all the staff is going to know who everyone in this room is. So when people complain, well, there are chairs up on the lawn. Well, if you'd like to volunteer, you can set yours up early as well. So it's a perk. It is a perk of volunteering for sure. The music begins at 11. We're going to do the flip-flopping of stage. So it's going to be the main stage and the amphitheater, main stage, amphitheater. And then there's going to be about a 10-minute between a 10, 15 minute between each act, so people have a chance to get from one to the next if they'd like to do that. Chairs are available for rent by donation from Just for the Beach. They're going to be holed up in this parking lot here. They've got a truck that they're going to be able to rent chairs if you need one. The sponsor information is all on the town hall porch. It's on the south side of the porch facing the lawn, and merchandise sales are at the front porch. The one thing that we need to always reiterate to the attendees is that we do not allow tents or umbrellas on the green. It does get hot out there, but they are not allowed, especially while the music is playing. They are not allowed, and we have definitely, if you don't want to be the bad guy on that, that's fine. You call one of us, and we will be happy to be the bad guy on that one. The fun police, I guess, is what we'll call us. There is no smoking or vaping, and also no videotaping of the performances. Those are all just things that we are not allowing out there. Sergeant Garrett. The question was, do we allow people with holstered weapons?
There's a man in Southern Shores, he comes to the beach with his holstered weapon.
Come speak into the microphone, please. See, aren't you glad you stuck around? That is a good question.
That is a very good question, and you're putting me on the spot because I'm going to have to go back and reread the ordinance, but I'm fairly certain there's an ordinance against concealed weapons on town property. Like open carry? Yeah, so open carry is legal in the state of North Carolina. They can carry open anywhere, and it is not illegal with the exception of a few places, and I believe there's an ordinance against carrying on the town green. I will have to review that and get back to you, though. But I'm pretty sure during the event, and there's certain limitations on carrying during events as well. So I'm gonna have to research that one and let you know.
Sergeant Garrett, I spoke to Lieutenant Clark, I guess, about this at one point, and while I don't have the final answer, I think that we would like to be notified if you see someone open carrying,
Yeah.
if a volunteer sees someone open carrying, if you would please notify someone. I believe that the police would be interested to know that someone was.
Exactly. Definitely let us know that that's in the area, and then once I review the ordinance and we find out that it is illegal, we'll handle it. If we find out that it's not illegal, then I'll just let you know, hey, there's nothing we can do about it. He can legally carry that weapon. But it is something we would want to know and keep an eye on.
And once you find that out, you just get that to me and I'll disperse it. I'll disperse that information. Yes, law enforcement definitely wants to know if there's one on the grounds. It's just good information to have. So the main stage begins at 11 a.m. Amphitheater performances are in between those. In between performances, the bands are going to meet and greet people next to the merchandise table up on the porch. They will have, some of them will have their own merchandise, some will not, but they're there to sign autographs, to talk to people. It's just, this is just it's a fun event. Everyone's going to have a good time. It's just a picture of the handful of the groups. I didn't have pictures of everyone, but we do this year. The United States Air Force out of Langley, Rhythm and Blue, is going to be here, and they are going to be on the main stage this year instead of on the amphitheater stage. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Sunday continues. So we are going to be able to mark off the green. I don't know, it's those that have seen it in the past. We like to keep emergency access open to everything. So the sound tent will be sort of in the middle of the field. And then from that sound tent, we are going to put chalk marks on either side to make 4 quadrants of attendees, but also it's emergency access, but also Sharon, if you're out there and you're like, oh my gosh, somebody's having a problem and it's over here, it's in Bravo, it's in this top left one, we know we can pinpoint a little better where the incident is happening and get somebody help more quickly, excuse me. My mother is telling me right there. Please try and assist in keeping these paths clear. If you're in the audience having a good time and you see someone trying to sit their seat down right there, perhaps maybe ask them, or again, find one of us and we'll be that person for you, because we want to keep emergency access wide open, because the more prepared we are, the less we will need to use it. That's what I'm trying to go with. Hay bales will create some barriers for the stage, so we're trying to keep people kind of off the stage, keep a little bit of security there for the bands. Food will be available under the picnic pavilion here. I've got 3 food vendors. We've got the Vine and the Board from Scarborough Fair, Treehouse Rope and Ladder, as well as the Boy Scouts. There's a Boy Scout troop going to be here, going to be selling food. So as a volunteer, you will be issued a food voucher for any of those places under the pavilion. You're just going to hand them your ticket, and they'll tell you what you can get for it, and we're happy to feed you, because again, we're not above bribery around here. The handicap parking this year is going to be in the town hall lot facing Carolina Designs, facing the road. We're going to have all that as our handicap parking. Bands during the day are going to come and unload. We're going to keep the parking attendants up to date of who's going to be doing that and looking for what cars, so that they know they can let them in to unload and do what they need to do. We are doing a little bit different with the sodas and everything this year. We're not going to sell sodas or water. We are going to let the food vendors sell whatever beverages they would like, but we are going to have water stations around the park, just like we did at the 4th of July. So you can refill your own water bottle, you can have a cup of water. All the water we're going to distribute is free to the public, free to the volunteers and staff, whoever would like it. I am encouraging everyone to bring a reusable bottle, because just bring your reusable bottle. We'll have cups. The cups are only this big, and we want to go green. We want to try and reduce our plastic. We have big 5-gallon jugs of water, and we're going to keep those filled throughout the day. This is honestly the 2019 map. We're still working on getting this one completely updated. But as you can see on the green there, we've got the quadrants kind of marked off there. We've got some where the tents are going to be. I'm going to send this out once it's done for you all to take a good look at it. And if you have any questions about it, please get back to me on that. All right, many of you know what your role is going to be and what you do, because you've been doing it for years. And thank you for that. So merchandise sales is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to be selling and tracking the town logoed merchandise as well as the jazz merchandise. The gate entrance folks are going to be at the front and the rear, of course, and keeping people out before 10 a.m., just greeting them, saying hello, talking about the festival, answering whatever questions they might have about the town, and reminding them umbrellas and tents are not allowed. The information booths will be located at the foot of the steps here, as well as at the other end of the field, as it usually is. And that's going to have a water station with it, but we're going to just information for anybody that is looking for who's going to play that day. We are not doing brochures. We're also going to not do brochures, because we trying to go a little more green. We're going to have signs up all around the park with all the information they need. So we're going to try something new this year. I'm going to go out on a limb here. For parking, the parking attendants will have radios, because the ones that are doing the north lot will have 2 in the north lot here, 1 at the front and 1 in the lot, so you can radio back and forth. Okay, I have 1 spot available, this person is left, or I have no spots available, flip the sign to lot full. As well as over to the volunteer lot, which brings me to, we have parking passes for everyone. Again, bribery. So the volunteer parking lot is located across the street at Town Bank. We're going to have Sandy Cross, who's in the back right there. She is our parking extraordinaire this year. You're going to go in, you're going to show her this, or whoever is there with her. They're going to tell you where to park, because if you're going to be here all day, we're going to block you in. We're going to cram all the cars in. But what we do ask is that you have your name and a cell phone number on your dashboard, because if you do get blocked in, or you block someone else in and they end up needing to leave, we just need to get in touch with you to say, hey, can you just move your car out so they can get out? So please be sure to pick one of these up before you leave. Security, that one's kind of fun. So that is basically, we will cordon off most of the parking lot out here, as well as we don't want people getting up into the bands while they're trying to set up, while they're doing sound check and just getting everything together. So you're just ensuring that no one walks through these areas, and it's secure. It includes right out here this is going to be the band hospitality room, and only access to those that are staff or the bands or credentialed folks are allowed to come in here. And so they won't be coming up this way, because we'll have the tent blocking it, but we'll have somebody stationed at the front here checking credentials, making sure only the people that are allowed to be here are in here. That's for the band area check-in. The volunteer check-in is going to take place in the town hall. And that is I'm going to have an iPad there for you, so it's going to take a little bit of training, but I promise it'll be easy and painless. And then I'm also going to have a sheet of paper for you because, I mean, we all like sheets of paper sometimes, just to check off. So you can, because I know I would come in and be like, I know I'm supposed to do merchandise 10 to 2. I can't remember where it is or whatever, so then you'll have it right there. You're like, oh no, you're actually 3 to 4. And then you can go that for them. We're all helping each other these days, let me tell you. So I'm going to ask you to please park in the town bank lots, where there will be 2 ATM spots left open all day for the traffic area. Duck Fire is going to assist with the monitoring of this area along with the volunteers at the entrance. If you can walk or carpool, that would be ideal, or even ride a bike, that would be ideal. But if you need to park, that's where we're going to put you. We are still in need of some volunteers in the parking areas if you're looking for something else to do that day. Saturday check-in is going to take place with me. I'm going to be out and about, and it is a smaller group of our volunteers, and we're all very concentrated at that point. So we're just going to have you check in with me, and I'll point you in the right direction and get you all set up where you need to go. Sunday, it's going to be in the first floor conference room. When you're relieved of your duty, like a parking person who is going to be relieved, hand off your radio to the next person, so that we know they're always going to be there. If you're not sure, ask the staff. If we're not sure, we're going to ask someone else. So we will get the answers somehow, because it could be to public safety. It could be something that I can fix. So just if you have a question, please do not hesitate to ask. So here are your area coordinators. In the back, we have parking with Sandy Cross. I don't know, it's the picture I had, Sandy. Jim Gould is going to be taking care of grounds and water stations. I thought it was a cute picture. I know, I liked it. I thought it was cute. I'm sorry I cut your husband out. The band area and hospitality is going to be Kay Nickens, and merchandise volunteer check-in is Lori Ackerman. I believe you probably know all of these faces. Jim it's his first time doing this, so take it easy on him.
So where does information fall in that? What does that come as? Band area hospitality, merchandise volunteer?
Grounds. Yes. Would say thank you to all of our sponsors that are going to be there. You cannot be mean to Jim. That's right. Thank you, Sergeant Garrett. Will do. Thank you, Sergeant. So we want to say thank you to all of our sponsors and grant makers, because they are, the reason we can do these and have them free to the public, and our council that approves our budget every year to get these events off the ground. Oh, I see familiar faces in here. Thank you to all of you and our Duck Jazz volunteers. I had to reach back a bit because we haven't had this in a couple of years, so it was kind of hard to find some pictures, but we appreciate everything you all do for us here. And again, please make sure I have the sign-up sheet here. And when you pick up your T-shirt, if you have already done so, please make sure you put a tick mark next to whatever size you get, next to your name, because we're trying to keep as few leftovers as possible. So if we have a better idea of how many of each size to order, we're going to be able to do that. That'll help us next year. So if you haven't picked up your shirt, please do that before you leave, as well as putting your tick mark. If you need a parking pass, they are right over here. Please be sure to take one of those. And with that, I'll take any questions. Did I miss anything? Yes, Monica.
You said you still have a need for volunteers on Sunday, and so we could just talk to you about it, or we go online?
Yes, we do still have a need for some volunteers on Monday. You can go online and check it there, or you can email me talk to me directly, and I will let you know. I can't tell you tonight, but I can tell you where the open slots are, by all means. Anything else? Well, here's all of my contact information. That is my cell phone number, so please, you're welcome to put that in your phone. Most of you probably already have it in there. So contact me if you have any questions at all. I'm here for you. I'm here to answer questions, and I appreciate you being here for me. All right, yes.
Are they going to be publishing, like on the Duck News, the lineup of the bands, so people know ahead of time?
The question is, will we have the lineup posted? It is already posted on the Duck Jazz website. There's been a press release as well. And there's a quiz, exactly. Who's playing Saturday night? That might be the only one I know. Yeah, if you're on information, you got it. Exactly. good on some research on that one. Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you for braving the wind. Please be safe this weekend, and next weekend's going to be gorgeous. I'm willing it so. Okay. Oh, if you are picking up a shirt for another person, check whatever it is next to their name as well, please.